How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our review of Hamnet. This is going to be a tough one. Just right off the bat, this is going to be a tough one. This is directed by Chloe Zhao, written by Chloe Zhao, and I think one other person was credited also.
Yeah, it's based on a novel, and so the writer of the novel also has a writing credit here.
Yeah.
Apologies for not remembering who that is.
Yeah. Spoilers for Shakespeare's life, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil anything in the movie beyond what's in the log line and
Or the trailer.
or the trailer or a Shakespeare biography. Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to go into this movie cold, then just go into it.
Go into it cold.
Yeah.
With that said, the movie's called Hamnet.
Yes.
It's about Shakespeare and his wife dealing with the death of their son Hamnet.
Yeah. Which right off the bat, did you know any of this? Did you know any of the stuff with his wife, like having his wife's backstory or any of that? That was so interesting to me.
I guess I'm going to preface by saying I didn't know a lot. I also can't speak to the historical accuracy of all this stuff. So I'm not treating this as a biography.
So sure. So this could be a new interpretation of that too, right? Okay,
correct.
Cool.
Yeah. I didn't look into it beforehand.
Yeah, not a Shakespeare historian here. I'm familiar, like his work, but yeah.
All right, we're dancing around it. Tell us about the movie.
Listen, this movie is very tragic. It's a tragedy. It's also very beautiful. I'm still waffling with how much the tragedy and the beautifulness of the movie even out for me. This movie makes you feel everything, and I was saying this off camera, but it makes you feel all the great times, all the bad times of life that you have to feel, and it's kind of just forcing you to feel it in this movie. It's do I want to feel that? No. Is it accurate? Yes, but yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of emotion coming out of this movie.
I was watching the movie and I was just it's a movie that's about grief and the way that we deal with grief.
Sure.
And in many ways, grief kind of it's weird to say an emotion is the main character, but grief feels like the main character in the movie. Yeah. And I think that's a really, really it's a very well done movie, but that's a really hard thing to grapple with. I almost feel like it's one of those things where we're talking about this, and I think you and I probably let ourselves feel, but I think another response to this movie, almost a defense mechanism, is to disassociate from what the characters are going through.
If you're gonna disassociate from this movie, it's gonna be boring for you.
Yes.
This movie's gonna be a drag for you. You're right to say that. If you can't connect, if you're not gonna connect to what's happening, this movie's not gonna be for you at all.
And I think that one thing that's different about this movie versus maybe some other movies when we talk about connecting is I'm not saying that in this movie there's going to be this character that you latch onto or where you're going to.
It doesn't try to be engaging.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you're not gonna feel grief because you feel bad for the character. It's more about you are going to connect the emotions that these characters are feeling with emotions that you have felt in your life, and when that connection happens, I think that's what makes it so weighty, because the struggles that they go through are so familiar and so real.
And that's a tough thing to do, I feel because going into this movie, you know what's going to happen to Hamnet, right? So anytime you know something's going to happen to a character, you know the movie's trying to endear you to a character. It doesn't it's not overhanded. It's not forcing this character on you. It's not making you need to love this character because it needs you to feel certain things so that when they take him away, you feel it. You just the actor, this child actor is the best child actor I've ever seen in my life. If they gave Academy Awards to kids this young, he deserves it. They probably won't because he's probably got a whole career ahead of him. But man, this kid made me really feel for him. All the performances in this movie. We got to talk about the performances first of all. Jesse Buckley, incredible.
Yeah.
What is Shakespeare's real name?
Paul
Mescal.
Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal.
You didn't see Gladiator,
Yeah.
did you?
Did not see Gladiator. Don't need to see Gladiator. This was great. He was great in this. But this kid, dude, incredible. I've never seen this kind of range and just commitment to Shakespearean dialogue. I would not expect this from a thespian that's been doing this for 40 years, let alone a child who's 10 years old or younger. So right off the bat, we got to give this kid roses because, oh my God. But it's also just the directing in this movie. What Chloe Zhao does is she really she introduces the characters. You get to live with them for a little bit, not too much, but it goes through the passages of time that it goes through feel so, I don't know, natural that you feel like you've been living with them for longer. And this movie's only 2 hours. And I don't know how I felt about the pacing because It does feel long, but
yeah, I think especially the build up is a little like kind of feels a little long, and I think there's parts in the beginning where it's there's a little bit of like, what exactly are we doing here in the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
But
and there's a lot of buildup. Like I was honestly checking my watch, like, are we gonna get to like the Hamlet part of this? And
and I think part of that is because the movie focuses more on like Shakespeare's relationship to his wife versus I think the temptation in some of this is to like wink and nod to who Shakespeare is, or to just like outright make it about like, oh, this is about this great man. And I think one thing in the movie...
He's very much a secondary...
Yeah, well, like, they don't even use his name until, like, almost the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is one thing I noticed. And I think, again, just grounding it so firmly in, like, the family life itself made all of the choices that happened after that so much more effective. But it does mean that, like, in the beginning, when you're just trying to get a feel for the movie, it can feel a little slow.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's plenty of moments in this movie that will feel slow, but I think it goes to what you were saying earlier. If you're not connecting with what's happening, like, and also, I mean, I do think that there's nothing wrong with, like, I think there was a couple people that walked out of our theater, it seemed like, I think there's nothing wrong with, like, okay, this is just too stressful, too much agony, back to back to back. I just don't know if I can handle this. Like, I'm trying to compare it to something. We were kind of comparing it to like Schindler's List off screen. I would almost maybe compare it to Iron Claw. I know you didn't love Iron Claw, but in a sense like of like it's just constant, you know, the worst parts of life being shoved in your face. But I struggle to say I loved this movie. I don't know if I'll like
it's a really good movie that I don't know that I ever want to watch again.
Yeah, we were sitting there and I was just absorbing the score. The score is incredible.
The score
is
great. Yeah.
So good. And I was absorbing the score, watching the credits go by, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep listening to the score because I don't know if I'm ever gonna throw this on or like watch this again. I might listen to the score again, but this movie, I'm glad I watched it. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again because it was that tragic. You know what I mean?
Do you think that you could, like, hypothetically, do you think it would be a satisfying watch at home?
I mean, I just don't know. In the same way that, like, I love the movie The Lighthouse. You don't love the movie The Lighthouse, but I feel like The Lighthouse is just like you throw it on a rainy day. It'll just give you that like feeling of being trapped in a lighthouse, and like when you shut it off, you'll just be happy to be out of it. This, I don't know if it gives me that same feeling. Like I didn't walk out of this like, oh man, I'm just happy to be alive and that all the people around me are alive. I guess it wasn't that feeling. It was more so just like. Like I was carrying a heavy load that was just getting heavier and heavier as the movie went by, and I just got to put it down when it ended. I guess.
I think the Lighthouse comparison is interesting because in both cases, what I would say is it's a movie that demands that you sit with it, and I don't know if you have the option to like
if you've got your phone,
you've got your phone, or if you've got the option to just like pause and come back to it. Like I don't know if
that being said, though, I could see. If you could absorb this movie in like 30-minute chunks, like, okay, that's a little too heavy for me. Let me go get a smoothie and come back or whatever. Like I could see that happening. But yeah, man, you know what? I know what we're doing. We're procrastinating because we don't want to score this movie. Yeah, I know what we're doing.
You're right. You're right. Because
is it wrong to say this movie's borderline a masterpiece? Like I don't know what's wrong. Like maybe slight pacing issues, but like we were kind of saying, or I was saying, you need to live with these moments. So
I think it's one of those movies where like. In my head, as I was like kind of keeping a running score, right? Like through the first part, I was just like up until you get to the moment of grief, let's say, because the grief is such a driver, and it, like I said, is kind of the main character. Like everything that comes after that and everything that's before that almost feel like so wildly different as far as how I would.
And when you are expecting the grief, you know it's coming. Yeah. That, I guess, is a spoiler for, like, the movie structures. I won't say that, but...
All right, we'll cut that.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
It's a hard one to score. I guess I'll go first. Oh,
I was teeing you up.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go 8. Like... I could go 8. I could go 9. I don't know that I'd go all the way to 10, but I'm gonna say 8.
Can I ask? Are you docking it for not being able to rewatch it again? Like,
no, I'm not. No, I'm docking it because, like I said, I thought some of the stuff in the beginning and just the aimlessness of it in the beginning. Like while I get to the end and I get why the choices were made the way they were made, I still don't know that I still think that there's a lot of flaws in that early part. And I'm not a huge fan of kind of I'll say the last like set piece.
Oh, really?
Like like
Really?
there's parts of it that I thought really, really, really worked, and there's like parts of it that I didn't think worked quite so well. So like it was a little inconsistent to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, again, overall liked it more than I didn't, but I find like if there's a couple flaws there that I'm not a huge fan of. So that's kind of it's those two things where I'm saying it's an 8. But I might look back on this and be like, wow, that was really dumb.
So my only real critical flaw is kind of what you were saying, where it does take a while to get to where it's going. But once it got to, and for me, I was like wanting it to get to the play aspect of Hamlet. I wanted to see the Hamlet aspect of this, and it takes a while to get there. And once it gets there, it really delivered for me. Like, I was not on the edge of my seat, but like I was just really locked into what was happening. Like, I don't know, it was like getting to see Shakespeare put on Hamlet for the first time. I felt like I was really getting to see that, and like that was an experience that I feel like I'll always remember. Like, out of everything in this movie, I think that part is something I'll always remember. And that being said, that kind of paved over all of my docking of the score for pacing issues.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I would dock this is because it's just so damn tragic and agonizing to watch, because it's so stressful, and it's like I don't. Like, I know this happens in life, and we all have to go through stuff like this, and hopefully we never do. But man, like, it's.
But do I have to sign?
Do
up
I have
for
to?
it?
Yeah. Do I have, like, I didn't want to review this movie. Like, we were talking about this. Like, I didn't want to see this because, like, I get what it's trying to say. I don't want to see it. While I was there, I wasn't enjoying myself, but like, you walk out and it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece of a movie. It's hard. I can't give this anything other than a 10. But
it makes you feel.
Yeah,
it just makes you feel, and sometimes you don't want to feel.
Yeah, it forces you to feel, which I don't know how that sounds, but this movie is incredible. It's a masterpiece, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. 10 out of 10. Don't see it if you want a good time. I guess I don't know. Like, if you're a real Shakespeare head, though, I will say I think you're gonna love this. Unless it's like completely flawed, like factually, I wouldn't know, and I don't think you know either. But
I was just thinking I need to brush up on my history. But
yeah, I'm 10 out of 10 for the performances alone. Like, you weren't really talking about the performances that much. What did you think?
No, I agree with you. I really enjoy
all
it.
of them?
Yeah, everything you said. Don't disagree at all.
All right, so we're not too far. 8. I'm giving it a 10 only because it's literally a masterpiece. I can't really find a flaw with it that I would point out and be like, yeah, that is the reason this doesn't work. So yeah.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah, perfect movie.
Speaking of grief, next week we're reviewing Avatar: Fire and Ash. So I will be feeling grief at sitting in the theater for 4 hours, but that's what's next on the docket. So we'll see you guys then.
We'll see you guys.